నగారా వినింటే వినిపించండి ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం కోసం ఆత్మస్థైర్యం కోసం స్వేరో నగారా.
Hello everyone, you're listening to Sphero Nagara. This is your Venkatalakshmi Sphero. I would like to start with a beautiful quote that implies our guest for today. Riding in an aeroplane is flying, sailing in a boat is swimming. But if you want to experience the purpose of your existence, then throw your vehicle. Just fly to the sky and that's where life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Is it difficult to happen? Let's hear from an independent woman who literally saw the sky as a limit and being a living inspiration to all young ones today. Let's welcome our own Sushma Sphero Darshanala to Sphero Nagara. Hi Sushma, very happy to see you here today.
Thank you so much for introducing, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here, and that's such a lovely introduction.
Thank you.
Sushma, earlier you studied in a missionary school and then joined social welfare schools with your own interest for intermediate education. What exactly attracted you the most to join TSWR institutions and how did it shape your life?
So my younger sister and I joined in a missionary school, and rest of them, like my elder sister and all my cousins, were in social welfare schools. So that was completely different from them and for us, because majority of them are in social welfare and only 2 of us are in missionary school. So I just wanted to give you a trial like how it goes, the education in private and in a government school. So that was my interest to join in social welfare after my 10th grade. It entirely shaped everything. Like I didn't know what are my strengths and weakness when I was in school, because I didn't participate or I didn't have any exposure to any competition such like that. But when I joined an intermediate in TSWR, there were a lot of opportunities to empower yourself and strengthen yourself to learn many more. Like we have Ignite programs. So that shaped a lot, and that helped me to realize between the strengths and weakness what I can do and what can't I do.
Wow, your journey sounds very unique, because you chose government residential school from a convent and went for CCIP internship while doing your bachelor's in India. From there, you opted for skydiving. Can you share your experiences of taking a step ahead to join CCIP and skydiving?
Yeah, CCIP is Community College Initiative Program, which is funded by US Department of State. And around, like in my group, when I was in Arizona on CCIP program, we are from 7 different countries. So we would be learning about in leadership skills, and you will be exposed to different cultures from different countries and to American culture and the education in various countries, the government system that goes on in each and every country. So we'll be learning the differences between each and every citizenship, and also we'll be learning English proficiency, communication skills and proficiency skills like that, and you will be making friendly relations with other country people. So that was the main theme of Community College Initiative Program. And being in CCIP, we also volunteer for NGOs like community service, and also internship, that the course that you have chose to improve your professional skills. So that was a very good platform to the participant of CCIP who can improve their skills. And while being in CCIP, I have done my skydiving, and skydiving I chose to just to realize what are my strengths and what are my weakness, because after coming back from India, I can imagine that there are different things that are going in my life. So I wanted to test myself whether I can face all those challenges or not. So skydiving, I chose that because that's not an easy thing. So if I can do the skydiving without any fear, then I can face anything. So that was my main objective, to do skydiving.
Wow, awesome. There are many families from marginalized backgrounds who are not ready to send their daughters for higher education due to a lot of current issues happening in the society and few other security issues. On the other hand, women like you are creating wonders while pursuing higher education. What are the few things that all parents should consider in sending their daughters for higher education?
Yeah, here we cannot just point at parents, because even the kids has to show what they can do, because they have to show to their parents that whatever the opportunity or the freedom that they give to their kids, they need to utilize it in a proper way and show the result. Okay, they are giving freedom to explore to education, and if you are giving good results, they will definitely encourage them. So that was the first thing. And even the students, they have to have a strong mindset of achieving big and fulfilling their parents' dreams, and sending out it comes with various situations. Like it can be like the suicides that are happening or the rapes that are happening, any kind of insecurities in the society. We have been seeing a lot every day. So all that, it comes from even from the parents and from the kids. They both has to grow up strong. Parent support should be there to them each and every moment, and even the kids has to utilize it in a proper way, and they have to learn from what they go through. We shouldn't expect that someone should be there in each and every step. We also has to start growing alone, independent, and from that we learn. So I believe in facing challenges that shapes us very strong. While facing, instead of crying, sitting weak or something like that, they have to focus. Even if they cry, it's okay to cry as much as you can, but once you stop crying, you have to grow much stronger than that. So yeah, they need to take support from their parents, or it can be friends or from teachers, anything. So that makes us safe wherever we go, or to achieve anything big.
And there are many students who are having their own interest. But you proved that having interest is not only enough, but you should also know the way to work on your interest. No one can imagine a girl from a small village doing such adventures. How were you able to manage your academics and participate in various adventures at the same time?
When it comes to interest, we'll be having so many things like pursue. Many of them are interested in hotel management, or in similar way they can also be having dual mindsets, like because as humans we don't like at least one. We'll be having multiple things that we would be loving, so we want to do each and everything, but just love and interest doesn't takes us to the place where we want to be. So it's complete dedication and determination that gives us the way or the will to achieve whatever we want. So along with the interest, we also need the dedication and determination and time, energy and patience, because it needs 100% or 90% of hard work to achieve it. So just interest alone can't make anything.
Nice. And hearing about all the adventures you have done, it seems like you need a lot of physical strength. But you proved that strength of your soul is more important than anything else. Which is more important according to you? Physical capability or mental strength?
Physical strength or physical capability and mental strength, both are interlinked to each other, because we need physical capability as well as mental strength also. Because if we take an example, for example any suicide case or something like that, they are physically fit but they suicide. Why? Because of the mental strength. So both are interlinked to each other. But first comes, I prefer mental strength, because whatever we go through, we should able to cope up with the mental pressure first thing. When you can overcome the mental pressure, then you can do anything alone. And for that, you need good relations. I suggest people to build very good relations, because nowadays as technology is growing, we tend to adopt technical things mostly. But we can't share everything with the computer or mobile phone or with anything. We need to build relation. It can be a friend, teacher, mother, father, anyone who can help us to cope up with the mental pressures or the stress that we go through. So most of the youngsters needs to work on this mental strength. Mental strength is very important than the physical capability. And if you are mentally well, then the physical capability will build it on itself.
Hearing all this from you, I can say you are a woman of virtue and simplicity. However, there must be a lot of obstacles, struggles, and pressure from your family and society. How are you able to cope up with all these things, and how do you work on your mental health?
The challenges or the obstacles that I have been through, it was initially very hard to cope up with that. But then I should thank my friends. They have been in my way in each and every step, from the first point to till now. Each and every one who I have, they had supported me a lot. So they are my mental strength, to be frank, my teachers, my friends, and all the Sveros. So and then I have learned many things from going through a lot. Like it can, and at some point of time I was in a situation where I was about to lose my health due to my health condition. So after that I didn't feel anything like challenging obstacles or struggles like that, because life is more important than what we go through in our life. So when I have been on a deathbed, then I realized whatever I have been through wasn't anything hard for me. So that made me to realize, and each time I come across through any kind of challenges, I have my people to back up or help me to simplify things, analyze, and nothing is gonna long for so long. And apart from friends, it also comes with the exercise. And exercise, I go for a walk, long walk. I walk for 2 to 3 hours to work on my mental health. So it also builds my physical health too. So apart from my friends, I go for exercise. I walk for 2 to 3 hours in the evening. And if I have anyone accompanying me, I'll do morning exercise also. But I mostly go in the evening. And also to work on my mental health, it's not always depending on the people, but I also sit alone and I just think what are the situations that are going through and where it went. Actually, it is to find out the root cause of the challenge that we are going through. So if we can find out what is the root cause, then we can analyze where things are going wrong and how we can cope up. So that is a thing that I do every time whenever something happens to me.
Astronauts are generally asked a question: how does Earth look like from space? Now I ask you, during skydiving, how did you feel about yourself and this universe?
That's such an interesting question actually. So while doing skydiving, everything looked very, very tiny, like just like our palm, something that we hold in our palm. So all the big mountains or the big buildings, or everything looked very tiny, like an ant. So I just felt like whatever the big on the earth, if you can work for that, everything looks small for you. Everything comes at your feet. So all it depends on your dreams and how you work out for your dreams and how you achieve for that.
Sushma, you always say that you want to pay back everything to society. What is paying back according to you?
Before I would say what is payback according to me, I would like to tell why I want to pay back. So if Father Carter Rajulu, who was the founder of Divyabala Vidyalayam Bongay, if he hasn't started the school for orphans and semi-orphans with the help of Germans who are his friends, and if I haven't joined in T-Sverris, and if Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar IPS wouldn't have joined as a secretary for T-Sverris, and if Anita Ramchandran ma'am IAS, who shouldn't have come back as a payback, and St. Francis, who offers 3 scholarships every year for the marginalized students, if she doesn't have started that, and if US Department of State haven't started any exchange programs like that, like CCIP, Youth Exchange Study Program, and many more like that. So if all these people haven't started for free of education, I wouldn't be sitting here, because whatever I have been through my education so far, I've received it completely free. My degree and schooling is missionary, which is completely free of cost, which we have to pay too much of cost for books, hostel, tuition fee, everything like that, which I wouldn't have able to pay for that, or my mother when I was in school. So if all these people wouldn't have paid back, I wouldn't be sitting here. And when it comes to our spheres who are helping me now, it can be financially or sometimes providing accommodation and whatever they are doing to me. If all these people are not doing it as a payback, and I wouldn't be having this kind of free life, like whatever I've been facing through, I'm moving very freely, like I don't have any problems like that. So all this because of these people. So that's why I want to pay back, because if any of the person who haven't come back as a payback, it would be very hard for me. So that's the reason I always tell I want to pay back. And according to me, payback is like, it's not just about money or accommodating or like that, but whatever the way is possible to us. If you can't able to pay, when someone is in need of fee, if you can't able to give them money, you can share the knowledge to any other person who are in need of that. Like how APU or DU students intern in our schools and share their knowledge. And also helping someone who is in need, or anywhere, wherever we go through, like when we take a journey or something like that, wherever it is possible. So that is payback according to me. It's not just to the person who helps us, but whoever is in need of that.
And you have been managing a lot of things and being independent. What is the secret behind your strength, and what are your future aspirations?
My strengths, I would say it's my friends and teachers. because alone I can be strong. I don't know about others, but according to me, if all these people wouldn't have helped me, I wouldn't be facing whatever I'm going through, to be honest. And my friends helped me a lot. It can be financially or in studies or in accommodating anything. So they continuously nurture my mind, whatever I'm going through. Whenever I feel low, they keep making me strong. And also being mentally strong, it should come from within us also, within individual. When they can take a stand to be strong, then whatever other people are encouraging you, you feel it positive. And talking about my future aspirations, I'm planning my master's in forensic science, and I prefer to be a forensic scientist in future too.
Apart from your academics, internships, what do you do in your leisure time?
In my leisure time, I usually read novels. That is the first thing that I do. And next, I go for, as I told, I go for a long walk, hours of walk. I'm not tired of walking. And I keep talking to my friends. And I sit alone to analyze what I'm going through and what I have to do. Alone means I sit and I analyze things that I'm going through, education, finance, or internships, or whatever I'm going through, and strengths, weakness, people who are walking in your life, all those things. Because it's, like there's a quote told said by Gautama Buddha that if you doesn't talk to yourself, then you miss talking to your greatest person. So I believe in that. Each and everyone, like if something happens, we keep blaming. That's our mindset, human mindset. And it constantly keeps changing. So instead of blaming someone, it's better to sit alone and analyze the things and then go blame or you learn from that. These are the things that I do.
Would you like to share anything more to our Sphero Nagara audience?
Yes. First of all, I would like to thank kindly listening to my words, and also I would like to tell the one whoever is listening, sharing or whatever, I would like to tell them to have a goal, have a plan of action, and work on that, and dedicated and determined. So all these things, and also most of them works very hard, but they fail to analyze where things are going wrong. That is the first thing that we have to do, and plan of action should be implemented very much consistently and constantly without any gap or like that. Even if they are taking a gap, that's absolutely fine, but they have to get back more stronger than before. What I suggest for the youngsters is to be positive and take everything positive, like whatever they go through. If someone criticizes or someone cheats you, whatever they do, just take it as a positive and learn from that. Whatever they go through or whatever we go through, learn from that. And especially for the girls, so they need to take a stand, and they need to grow stronger, and they need to learn from whatever they are going through and wherever they are. It's not just like being in a comfort zone, like my mother comes and help, my father comes and help, my friend, teacher. No, they can help, but not everywhere, wherever we go through. So as a girl, they need to start learning, growing stronger. So that is the thing that I would like to tell, and never give up on whatever the dreams or goals that they want to achieve. And also live off the fear. I mean, get out of your comfort zone and get out of the fears that you have, and constantly, more than the strengths, we need to work on weakness. Most of them we often forget to work on weakness, and we think that when we have to do something that we doesn't know, okay, I doesn't know this, I can't do this. No, we have to work where we can't able to do that. So that's the one thing I would like to tell. And lastly, I would like to thank each and everyone. So I would like to thank my friends, my teachers, and all the Spheros who are helping me so far and helping me in my education, not just to me, and to my sister also. And I also have to thank my younger sister for being with me and adjusting, understanding, and facing whatever we go through. And I thank Sphero Nagara for giving this precious time to share my words.
Thank you, Sushma. Thanks for your inspiring words to us.
Absolutely honored.
స్వేరో నగారా వినండి వినిపించండి ఆత్మవిశ్వాసం కోసం ఆత్మస్థైర్యం కోసం స్వేరో నగారా